doing it. You supposed to be happy you sitting there with Kid L. Why you mad?
The Kid L Podcast.
Rocking and rolling. Willie Mac Jr. is in the building. What's happening, man?
Big chillin'.
I feel like today we're going to be talking about some politics, bro.
You know, a little bit. You know what I'm
bit.
saying? We ain't got to go too crazy, but we definitely got to touch on it.
It's relevant because what is the next week is November 5th, right?
Yeah, election coming up.
Yeah, man. You got a Kamala for everybody had on.
Kamala.
Kamala.
It's
It's over for me. I'm wrapped. So
Yeah,
my career is
nah.
done for. She's never coming on the podcast. So you're Kamala. You are a supporter of Kamala.
Yes, I am.
Talk about your support for Kamala.
You know, it's more so for me, it's more so just honestly, if I'm being direct, the black thing, you feel me? At the other side, to me, ain't for me, never been, won't be. So, you know, I understand people being frustrated with the voting for the lessers of two evils. It feel like we doing that every election. But at the same time, I'd rather deal with that than the opposite, you know what I'm saying? Especially coming from where I'm from, we've been dealing with that type of oppression since slavery at the end of the day. So, you know.
Ice Vezo had the chance to throw some questions at Kamala, and you know, people are very supportive of Trump, of Ice Vezo meeting Donald Trump as well, and really being involved in the politics. Did you look at that? Did you go like, this is a great moment for Detroit? Did you look at how Vezo's networking and being a part of the political end of things for the city?
I mean, I wasn't in the room, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what was asked. So, you know, if the right questions was asked, I don't got no problem with it. If it wasn't, then, you know, it is what it is. I feel like, you know, I know what I'm dealing with Trump. I know the oppression of white supremacy. I just feel like, you know, I know what, for the past 400 years, the white supremacy we dealt with. And I don't agree. I don't feel like the Democrats have made crazy progression. But I know at the same time, you know, what I'm dealing with on the other side. And if all I'm doing right now is buying myself time, I'd rather do that. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Trump trying to get a police immunity. We know what that means for black people. You know what I'm saying? You know, tax cuts for the rich, raise taxes for the poor. I'm not rich. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of his policies land good for me. And I know I'm a small business. Kamala trying to rebuild the middle class. You know, union workers. She focused on that. That's more aligned with me. That's more aligned with Detroit, the city I love. That's what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? I ain't telling nobody else to be on that. But most of the people who look like me, it make more sense.
So you feel like Kamala is going to help Detroit more than Donald Trump would help Detroit?
I feel like if you helping yourself, and a Democrat can help you more than a Republican, unless you $100 million up. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I received a grant from, you know, the Biden administration, $60,000. It ain't changed my life, but it bought some equipment that now I can make coffee for everybody that walk in my business. You know what I'm saying? I got an oven off that $60,000. I can make flatbreads. I ain't, you know, people, you know, that for me, I know they can touch me if I'm doing the work.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I don't look at politicians like saviors. I look at them like people who in position to help if I'm helping myself.
Right.
Type of thing.
When you're talking about the purchases that you were able to make for your business, are you talking about the Cred Cafe?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. And you guys had Biden in there, right?
Yeah, we had Biden and Kamala in there.
Very, very cool. What made them stop at your guys' shop? What made Biden and Kamala stop at the Cred Cafe?
Initially, it was just, you know, me and my brothers, we made a lot of our connections before, you know, Instagram and all that. Like, we got a lot of real life, person-to-person connections that are now going to come into effect now that we got the Cred Cafe up and rolling.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, part of that was that. Part of it was, you know, our grand opening, the mayor was there. You know, he came back for a watch party later. The service was good. So, when you make real connections, when you treat people right, they say your names in rooms you're not in. And that was the initial connection. And then when Biden first came, we made our own connection and built the relationship a little better.
Very, very awesome. Let's take it to day zero with the Willie Mac. Where are you from?
I'm Detroit, West Side, Rosedale Park to be exact. You feel me? I ain't been a rapper my whole life. I started rapping after, sports, after I realized it wasn't really what I was into, like what I was going to do the rest of my life. Music came and I fell in love with it for real.
Well, yeah, man. You got tracks with GT, Babyface Ray, which is like, getting a Ray feature now is like incredibly difficult, right?
For sure.
The guy took it to the moon. But you've done significant work. You have your own solo projects out too as well that, I feel like social media wise, you could use a little bit of a bump, and I guess that's what podcasting helps for as well.
For sure.
I feel like you're a little underheard, man. I feel like you come with a very raw sound that resonates with the real life of the stories I've heard from people from Detroit.
I appreciate that, man.
So, talk about your entry into music.
Music came for me at a time where I was like kind of lost. Like I said, I grew up in a sports family. I was the youngest of two older brothers. They both went to the NBA.
What?
Yeah.
Which brothers went to the NBA?
Joe and Jordan Crawford. I don't know if you heard of them.
Like, you're talking about your brothers? Or
like blood brothers. Yeah, they're my older brothers. They own Cred Cafe with me.
That's so crazy. Two brothers in the NBA.
But I was on some I was under that shadow for a long time. So I was also trying not to, when people listen to my music, I ain't want them listening because they was doing them a favor. I wanted them to fuck with Willie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
you said you didn't say Jamal Crawford, right?
No, Jordan.
No, Jordan.
So
Okay.
Jordan Crawford, Joe Crawford.
Wow.
They both play D1 ball. They both play in the NBA.
Man, I played Jordan Crawford in 2K before.
He the coldest.
Yeah.
When he get hot in that shit, it ain't no stopping my nigga.
That's incredible. So as you're growing up, what's your family situation like? You got brothers that are obviously achieving great heights and everything like that. What was your surroundings like?
I mean, for me, it was tough because I had some big shoes to fill that I felt I had to fill.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They never put the pressure on me. I put it on myself, and the city put that pressure on me too because of all they was achieving. And I felt I had to do the same thing. So I loved hoop. I knew it would at least take me to college, but I knew I didn't love it as much as them. So as soon as I fell in love with music, I dropped that shit for real. Like I was off it because it was like, this my thing. I've been looking for my thing my whole life. That's their thing. I got mine now type shit.
Man, incredible.
Yeah.
When did the Cred Cafe come into play?
We acquired the property in 2017. So it's been going on 8 years now. Before that, we was in Northwest Activity Center. We had we called it the Pro Shop. We used to sell like little snack sandwiches for the people who was working out or working there. And we was dealing with the upper management. They was on bullshit. Moms was like, we need our own building. My brothers was in the league at the time, so they put their money into that. You know what I'm saying? And from that point on, it's been like, this is our foundation. Anything outside of that, we can build, we can figure out, but this is our foundation.
What do you dedicate most of your time to right now, the cafe or music?
Right now, the cafe, I'm working to split that evenly. But right now, the cafe, because it's new. You know what I'm saying? It's the first year. It's fragile. We had some big things happen, which has put us in a place of, like fast growth. But at the same time, it's fragile. So I'm making sure that's the foundation forever. I want my kids, they kids, to be able to work there. And they kids, and shit, your kids, you feel me?
Yeah, legendary.
You know what I'm saying?
Super legendary. With music, like I said, you've accomplished some major feats. You got some major people. Like I said, the views I don't know where the views are at. Sometimes when I'm looking at it, I'm seeing that you got a fan base to some degree, but I feel like with the type of output that you have, it should be more significant. Did you market yourself the way you wanted to, or did you just not put too much promotion behind it? Like, what happened?
It's a little bit of both, honestly. I've been trying to figure that balance out. the whole time, for real. And like I said, we made a lot of our connections pre-social media. So when I ran into people who was looking for a following or looking for that, it kind of turned me off. And I'm just like, nigga, I'm going to slow roll this shit. I'm going to grind this shit out. You feel me? Because I always look towards the Cred being my real catalyst. You know what I'm saying? Now that that's up and running, I know this music shit gonna catch. Because people even understand what I was talking. I was talking about buying property in 2017. Niggas wasn't thinking about that shit.
Yeah.
It was going over their head. So I knew like it's gonna be the long run for me. So you know,
properties is huge right now too, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you caught it at the right time, you're doing very well right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're still saying it's a good time to invest, but who knows if that's like actually 100%.
It is. It's good compared to the rest of the country, but it's not good compared to Detroit 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? My the house next to my parents' house in Rosedale Park sold for like $16,000 like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Now the house is like $230,000.
Exactly.
So, you know, it's not what it was, but it's still better than if you was to be in another major. Detroit is a major city. It ain't no major cities you can get the prices you getting here. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why there's obviously a lot of like gentrification and stuff happening. Everybody's coming from outside. They're scoping it and going like, yo, let me just grab this shit up before anybody else does. You got rappers like Skilla Baby and Vezel. Like, again, there are people who are like, no, we're going to take back the blocks that we grew up on and whatnot.
Which is important. You know what I'm saying? I feel like gentrification is a two-sided thing. Of course, I understand the cons, the negatives of gentrification, but at the same time, it means there's money coming to the city. So if you ahead of the game, if you locked in, if you bought some property, if you whatever, as that money come, you a black person in position to make change. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I feel like as much as it's, you know, a negative to certain things, you got to find the positives of a lot of things, especially being black. Like, you know, most of our situation in America is negative. The system designed literally against us first and everybody else after. So if you ain't looking for the finesse, and this shit ain't for you.
Yeah, I was talking to my friend about that the other day. He was like pretty much bagging on like rap music. He's like, look at these fucking artists, bro. I got more money than all of them. Like, look at these, like the loser ass shit that they talk about. And I was like, bro, you realize that's like some people, that's their only way out is to rap and make music. Like some people, that's their only way to find.
Even me in my position, I know if I ain't have brothers that play in the NBA, I wouldn't be a property owner right now. You know what I'm saying? And I would be banking on the hit. But I was blessed enough, you know what I'm saying? I got a supportive enough family to know I'm going to keep chasing that hit, but I'm building my foundation with this Cred Cafe.
When your brothers officially entered the league and they got that big check, did you see anything? Like, did they go like, here's a quick 10,000? Or was it all like, no, you got to earn it? Or like,
nah, it wasn't here's a quick 10,000. Nah, it wasn't that. Because my brother wasn't max contract. If he was max contract, hell yeah, I'd still be up. But I look at that like I wouldn't be this person I am today. I'd probably be an asshole, honestly. You know what I'm saying? But it was, and my mom, who, you know, deserves a lot of credit for everything we doing and did, she was aware like, bro, you making good money, but if you're going to be rich when you 80 years old, this ain't no money. You know what I'm saying?
Who told them that?
My mom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my mom. She was on that.
Damn.
She was on that. Like, you know, you ain't gonna have this when you 80 if you treating it like you got a lot of money.
But we're talking about multi-millions of dollars.
But no, we not. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the misconception with being drafted to the NBA. Now, it's different than even in 2010. But we talking maybe an M a year at most.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And just by your response, I know you know that's not lifetime money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if I want to live in Rosedale Park for the rest of my life, it might be.
Right. If you're when you get to that level of money, your living expenses are changed.
You
so
know
it's
what
like
I'm
that $1
saying?
million is worth like what somebody might be 100,000 to somebody now.
If you trying to live on that level.
Yeah.
Now, if you willing to live the same way, then yeah, you straight.
Well, was there anything that they did for you that was monetary? That was
No,
like,
it was a lot of shit. I ain't saying it wasn't shit going on. Like, I traveled. I lived in LA. I lived in Atlanta. I lived 2 months in China. All type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I was getting a little stipend. I'm buying fresh shit. You know, I ain't acting like it didn't reach me. But it wasn't like I'm like, hey, bro, let me get 5 bands real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm Russell Westbrook, little brother, yeah, bro, throw me 20. Fuck is you talking about? But, you know, it wasn't that.
How did they when they give you stuff? Is it like they give you a card and just like spend like a limit, or do they go like, what do you actually want? We'll get for you what you want.
If I'm being totally transparent, for a minute, I got $250 every 1st and the 15th. It's $500 a month.
That's cool.
If you 18, that's a lot of money. 19, that's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? The older I got, it was more so like, you know, we might be living in LA at the time. We going out. Hey, bro, here $500 for the night. You know what I'm saying?
That's
but
dope.
in between that, I'm fending for myself.
What was your most memorable experiences when you were just out and living like that?
Man, shit, it's a lot of them. We used to, you know, like I said, my brother was in the league, so we was hanging with all the top hoop niggas, house parties, clubs, all type of shit. I'm hollering at superstars and shit.
Way.
Yeah, all type of shit, you know what I'm saying? So I can't, it's funny looking back now because there's a lot of people who only know me from yesterday. And they don't know that life, you know what I'm saying? So I don't even bring it up a lot because it sound fake, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I met all type of people. I was around all type of women, all type of money, all type of shit.
That's chill.
Yeah.
Right now, you know, your artistry is still going. You haven't stopped with that. You got the cafe going. You haven't stopped with that. Do you feel like there's any third source of people reaching out to you, or any type of service that people could reach out to you to work with you, or anything like that? Because you're working in finances, you're working with homes, you have your own businesses and stuff. Like, are you just like, no, I'm I just want to work on my creations, or are you looking to work with people? I
mean, yeah, I'm always looking to collaborate. It got to make sense because I got a lot on my plate. Like, Cred Cafe alone is a lot. The music after that is a lot. The more I want to grow in it, the more attention it needs. You know what I'm saying? Then it's personal shit, family, relationships, all that shit.
Yeah.
So the best thing to do is pull up to the Cred. Like, the regulars get the most of my attention. You know what I'm saying? Or my families or whatever, because y'all circulating the black dollar, you know what I'm saying, type of thing. So it is that. It's like, shit, if you ain't coming here, I ain't about to, you know, rush to work with you. If it makes sense, it makes sense, though.
Who's the most, who's the person that's walked into your cafe that you were maybe kind of like, damn, like, I can't believe this motherfucker's walking in here?
I mean, the president.
Oh, the president's the biggest for sure.
Yeah.
But was there anybody that was like to you or personally it hit you?
Wallow.
Oh, that's dope. Oh, yeah, I seen Wallow.
Yeah, Wallow. I got to interview Wallow, too. Yeah. We sat like this, talking.
Yep. I seen that.
Yeah, and that was dream come true for real, because Wallow is somebody who, you know, he experienced fighting the system in, you know, you can call it one of the blackest ways. You know what I'm saying? The prison system was literally designed to keep us in a certain place. And he spent 20 years in it, came out, made $50-100 million. So, you know, that was definitely a dream come true, and crazy to be at the Cred. You know what I'm saying? In Detroit. Like, that's, me and my brothers talk about it all the time. It's like the world coming to East Jefferson. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? We dreamed it, but to see it happening is fucking crazy. You know
it's amazing, man. When you're talking about the system and you're talking about it being designed to work against, I'm assuming you're saying African Americans in the city itself.
Mm-hmm.
When was your first awareness of social injustice?
I mean, most of my heroes was people that not only had the talent but used it for cultural impact too, like the Muhammad Ali's, the Allen Iversons, and then to get even deeper, the Angela Davises, the Malcolm X's, the Fred Hamptons type shit. It was always, and my parents is from that era. So it didn't get past us. You know what I'm saying? I did take an extra liking to it. Like I was talking to somebody recently and I was telling them like, because of my interest, for a lot of the times when I was broke or when I was just searching, I was reading, I was, you know what I'm saying, doing certain shit that was now coming into play. Like I was reading up on politics. I was reading up on the thought processes of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X's. And it was really just because they was my interest.
Yeah.
And now that we in the position we in and the president came and all that, is making people want to hear what we got to say. You know what I'm saying? And God, thanks to God, I was ready for it because all the years I was just studying. You know what I'm saying? So
they pulled up this. I was watching this Donald Trump interview, and they said that he said that when he gets into office, they have a file on who killed Martin Luther King, or like some truths behind Martin Luther King's killing. Obviously, he was sniped down from the balcony, but they said there's like more truths to it than we even understand about why he was killed. So you can possibly conclude that it's something from within on a deeper level that got him.
I mean, yeah.
Somebody. I mean, obviously, right? We all probably.
I don't like. Okay,
but like it's gonna be in facts now. Now it's gonna be like, yo, this is exactly what happened.
But I don't want people to get confused. Like, if Trump happens to reveal these facts, that don't mean he for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trump is a master manipulator. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, cool. I want to know the truth. I still don't fuck with you, Trump. You know what I'm saying? That shit was 60 years ago. You know how many niggas died since then? You know what I'm saying?
Martin Luther King was a huge, like, man, that was like, I mean,
it's Martin Luther King, but at the end of the day, it's George Floyd.
Yeah.
If we talking about lives, black lives, we dying every day for this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to forgive you because you released the facts on who killed somebody when there's still no justice being served.
Yeah. That's the interesting part about it. Like you're saying that it's still an unjust happening to this day. It's never been like the African American community has ever really got like justice for what's happened to them in the past for thousands. And at this point,
it's hard to even know what justice would be.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people talk a lot about reparations, but what do we really deserve? Right. Kind of everything. And they're not gonna give us everything.
Right.
Like, once we was property. We paying property taxes. We shouldn't be. We shouldn't be paying for school. We shouldn't be paying for health care. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying we should just be living free, but we built this shit. So it should be a certain starting point that's respectable to the 400 years we put in to make everybody else rich.
Yeah, I think they made an attempt when it came to affirmative action, right? They were kind of...
No. We're not about to do that.
What? I'm not saying that that's my argument. I'm saying that's what's been said. Right?
I know. I'm not.
Yeah,
I know. I'm just saying the truth of affirmative action was one of you niggas is gonna get in. The best of you niggas. But it's like people say, George Bush was the C student president. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna see no C student black president. So until we getting C student black presidents and everything else, until I don't deserve a loan but I get it anyway, and it's 1,000 examples, it ain't really much to talk about.
It would be tough, right? Like for them to figure out what is fair. Like it would be tough to
It'd be super tough. I'm scared to even bring up reparations because it's so much black people deserve. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think the discrepancy between like Native Americans having like tax-free, like their own land, like whatever, like they get to build casinos and shit versus like what happened to African Americans? Like,
I feel like white America, white supremacy knows black people is the sauce. You can give somebody else, free land, free education, and that's all it is. You get that to a generation of black people, you might create a generation of millionaires. And that's what they scared of. They scared of us having the power they got. Because you do the Dougie on East 7 Mile, a year later you might see somebody in Asia doing it.
True.
You know what I'm saying? You don't see niggas on East 7 Mile doing the Asian dance. That's the fear. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop is the biggest genre in the world. It was created from oppression. They like niggas soul food. Everybody loves soul food. That shit was created from pig intestines and shit. They like these niggas take every little bit of nothing we give them and make it worldwide. If we give these niggas $1 million, what they gonna do with that?
I was watching. I forget what this movie is called, but apparently, like it has Chris Rock in it, and it's based in Detroit. I forget the name of it, but Chris Rock, basically, his character is the person who made the credit card.
And I don't think I've seen that.
I forget what the movie, but it's based on a true story. It happened in Detroit, but basically, he created the credit card, and then somehow it got stolen from him. Like the whole concept of the credit card was stolen from him. Yeah. So it could be a possibility. You never know. It could have been a black man.
That's you know how much shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Jack Daniels was created by a black man.
Really?
It's Uncle Nearest.
I didn't know that.
No,
for who's real. On the fucking label? Isn't it a white dude on the label?
So the slave owner,
yeah,
Jack Daniels. I don't know if that's his name or the brand name or whatever. But he was a slave owner of the guy who created Uncle Nearest.
Jesus.
Which is now its own brand that his family puts it out. But the slave owner created it. He took it, made it Jack Daniels. Whoop, whoop, whoop. You know what it is now. Everybody asked for a Jack and Coke.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? But Uncle Nearest is the guy that actually created Jack Daniels, who now has his own brand. We carry it at the Cred. So if you want some black-owned liquor, come to the Cred.
Oh, you guys have liquor at the Cred too?
We're a coffee shop. We're a speakeasy. And we're a member. Bruh.
What's the speak? Bro, I look at photos and I do
No,
research.
you need to pull up, bruh. Stop playing with me.
Come through? I'll come through. Am I invited?
Bruh.
Let me come through. I didn't know that.
We're a business.
You never invited me.
Would you ask?
I don't go anywhere,
Listen
bro.
to me. I feel you.
You got to invite.
But if you got to go to the gas station, you won't ask them if you invited.
That's different.
No, it's not. We're a business. Everybody's invited.
I'm invited, but I want like a yo L. I want you to pull up type invite, man. I was like, yo
L,
make me feel special.
Yo
man.
L,
shit.
I want you to shoot a podcast from that motherfucker.
That would be dope. But so people mix up their coffee and alcohol together.
You can.
That's dope.
Yeah, you can. You can get a shot of alcohol in your coffee. You can just get alcohol. You can just get coffee. You can just get a kombucha. You can do what you want.
You guys got kombucha?
Yeah, man.
And so with the alcohol in it?
Huh?
The 0.7% alcohol? Yeah, you got to. Damn, that's crazy. I actually have to pull up because I don't really know places that make gourmet coffee and alcohol.
And you can be low. Like, we done had some of the biggest names in the world, so when you walk in, it ain't gonna be like they like, oh, kid. They gonna let you chill, have your little sip of something, might holla at something. I don't know if you got a lady.
I got, yeah, I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah. So bring your lady in. It's the perfect date spot. You know what I'm saying?
What's the go-to drink when people pull up?
They either get the espresso martini, we call it the East Jefferson martini, or we got the Purple Gang 75, which is like a spin on the French 75. Them our top two sellers, though. Damn. And the old fashioned does well, too.
Damn, all right, cool.
We lit. Nigga, we lit.
I'm with it.
Pull up, man.
I'm going to be there. Is there anything on the political end that you want to talk about? Anything that you feel like, you know, with the election time coming so soon to a close, what's on your mind as far as maybe helping people have a better understanding of who to vote for, what makes the most sense for the city right now?
Because it's so touchy, I try my best not to tell people who to vote for. I do think if you black, it's an obvious answer. But at the same time, I just think using your voice is important. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people, in the name of rebellion, think not voting is the right thing to do. But it's not real rebellion, you know, if you're not being heard. You know what I'm saying? And I think, like, if you want to rebel voting, you should be doing the work all 4 years. You know what I'm saying?
This is a little bit of a gimmicky question.
No, go ahead.
But it was on Detroit Rap Daily today. I don't know if you follow them. They had a poll today. They said, if you had to pick a Detroit rapper to be president, who would you pick?
I mean, I'd pick Willie, but I ain't no politician. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't pick a rapper, though.
But you have to. Let's just say you have to pick one of the main rappers from Detroit right now.
I had to pick one of the main rappers from Detroit.
You have to.
I'd probably pick GT.
That's legendary.
Yeah, I'd pick GT because GT the only person I know with good relationships with everybody. You know what I'm saying? And he make sure everybody get as fair a shake as he can provide.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's a level-headed individual.
Yeah, he be chilling. He easy to talk to. You know what I'm saying? I pick GT for sure.
If you could decide who the president was for the United States, but it wasn't between Kamala and Donald Trump, who would you pick?
Selfishly, Barack Obama.
Again? Damn.
Selfishly, Barack
That'd be
Obama.
dope.
Yes.
What do you think the most impactful moment that Barack Obama did for the United States?
Healthcare. You know what I'm saying? He provided, I think it's like 50 million people who didn't have healthcare with healthcare. And, you know, my grandma was one of them people. You know what I'm saying?
Obamacare was chill.
Mm-hmm. And it's still I think it's the Affordable Care Act now. Mm-hmm. It's really Obamacare.
Yeah.
They just changed the name of it because they ain't want his black ass getting the credit. You know what I'm saying?
If Donald Trump does get elected, is it gonna sting you, or is it just gonna be like, all right, like
it's gonna stink? I don't think people understand the magnitude of him getting elected. One, this might be our last chance to vote. Niggas think democracy is guaranteed. And it's not with Donald Trump. And I don't think niggas really understand that. So that's one. Police get immunity. That's two. I already haven't had not one good experience with the police. And I ain't even no thug-ass, gangsta-ass nigga. You feel me? But every time I get pulled over, it's some bullshit. And they get immunity on top of that, I ain't looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? I can go on. But I think for black people, them kind of two of the most important.
It's important.
And reproductive rights for our black women out here. You know what I'm saying? But, you know.
Is there anything that is particularly on your mind that you want to talk about before we close out?
When you say that, it's kind of too vague for me to pinpoint. But at the end of the day, you know, one of my things is I want everybody to be comfortable being themselves. You feel me? I think social media in the world has got away from being themselves. I think people just out here clout chasing and doing whatever they can to be seen, be heard, be liked. And I think being yourself is more important than being seen, being heard, being liked. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid for somebody not to like me if they don't like the true me. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where the world has gotten away from truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, 100% of nobody is liked. You know what I'm saying? In my mind, I think, you know, and I think that's okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't think everybody has to be perfect. I think everybody may have to be tolerant or may have to have some love within themselves to, you know, look past the things they dislike or whatever. But I don't think it's wrong to dislike. Right. You know what I'm saying? I just don't put myself in places where I would be disliked, which is also okay. You know what I'm saying? It may not be okay to tell people they can't come. But if you know you're going to a place you're not gonna be disliked, don't fucking go. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm that's my main thing. Be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Move with integrity, move with morality. I'm a firm believer in God, you know what I'm saying? And that's where I draw my morals from. But I'm not telling everybody to. I'm just saying, you know, whatever your morals are, whatever your beliefs are, stick to them no matter who ain't on that.
Absolutely. A beautifully well-balanced perspective. I appreciate you coming on to talk about the political ends. I think you're probably the only person to talk about politics that we have on in the past, like, year and so. And also the Cred Cafe, which I'm going to pull up to this weekend.
Pull up, man.
If I still drink alcohol, I'd be mixing it, but I'll pretend to. I'll bring
a coffee, man.
Yeah, I'll get a coffee.
You ain't got to do nothing crazy.
What are you doing for Halloween, man? Are you dressing up?
My boy right here, he want to be the security guards from Project X tonight at Black on Both Sides.
Beautiful thing.
So I
you guys
might
are going
do
there
that.
tonight?
That I guess so.
All
if
right.
he's still turned.
All right. Willie, man, this was awesome having you again. We'll get you back on here again as soon as possible, man, to keep an update. Maybe after the election happens, maybe we can get a kind of
whenever, bro.
Re-spark and we'll chop it up. Yeah. We're at Parallel Sound Studio at High-Low Visual shooting this production for Ralph.
INC the mob, you feel me? Influence new culture.
Nick's going to have